Alright, so I'm going to talk about how to find domain and range of a function, really a parabola, when it's not in vertex form. Whenever I give you any type of function that's in vertex form, it's pretty easy to find the domain and range in, because then you know the x and y coordinates. Then you can use the parent function to actually find the domain and range. When I look at this first function, I see f of x equals x squared plus 26x plus 148. Well, right off the bat, I see this is a parabola. So my domain I already know. The domain of all parabolas is the set of all real numbers. So I do want this in interval and set notation. So let's do both of these. So my domain in interval notation, so here we are with my domain. In interval notation is going to be from negative infinity to infinity. Now we have to use the curved brackets because you can never touch infinity. For set notation, we're going to do the set of all x's because domain is x, such that x is an element of the real numbers. And there is no constraint on this. That's another part to this, because there is no constraint. It can be any single x. I can put any x in here as an input, and I'm going to get an output. The range is not as easy. The range here is not going to go from negative infinity to infinity. We need to find where the y value is, and we need to figure, is the graph going up? Is it going to be going upward or going downward? So what we need to do here is turn this into vertex form. So we're going to do this by completing the square. So I'm going to have f of x equals x squared plus 26x plus 148. Squeeze a 4 in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my x's on one side. I'm going to move everything to the other side. So I have f of x. Let's subtract 148 from both sides. That leaves me with this. F of x minus 148 equals x squared plus 26x. Now, in here, we are going to have to add some random number that we've put in these boxes, if you remember this from class. And the way we find this is we're going to take my middle term here, my middle number, a positive 26. We're going to do a positive 26. I'm going to divide it by 2, and that gives me 13. And I want to remember this number here, and I want to square it, and this gives me 169. And that's the number that goes in the box. So when I rewrite this, I have f of x equals, well, f of x minus 148 plus 169, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other, equals x squared plus 26x plus 169. So I added 169 to both sides. Now this factors nicely to this 13 because we made a perfect square trinomial, x squared plus 13 squared. This, we just simplify this, and I have f of x plus 21 equals this. Now we solve for my f of x, and I have x plus 13 squared minus 21. Okay, so what this tells me, if I look in front of my parenthesis here, it's positive. That means this graph is opening upward. This graph was also shifted left 13 units and down 21 units. Left 13, down 21. I don't care about the left, but I care about the down 21. So if I have a parabola that's opening like this, and this point right here is negative 13, negative 21, all my y values are greater than or equal to negative 21, which leads me to my range. So my range in interval notation is going to start at negative 21, and I can touch it, so I use the square bracket, negative 21, and I'm going to go all the way up to infinity. And of course, I can't touch infinity because it's always going up because my leading number here is positive. Now, for my interval, my set notation, we are going to have the set of all y's, because range is y, such that y is an element of the real numbers, and now we have our constraint. My y is greater than or equal to negative 21. And you're done. That's how you can find the domain and range of a parabola when it's not written in vertex form. You just basically just write it in vertex form and then find the domain and range from there. Hi, I'm Mr. Buzzard, and these videos are supplemental instruction for my students. If you found the video enjoyable, make sure you click the like button and click subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications to receive future videos on high school mathematics.